Thank you for joining Waterbreak. This episode is brought to you by Dusty Rose Tallow. To find out more about them, go to dustyrosetallow.com. Enjoy Waterbreak. Hey y'all, welcome to Waterbreak. It's good to be with you. Also, we're on NRB TV. If you guys want to be in a conversation with us, email us at RenchMedia@gmail.com. This week, if you notice, the studio is a little different. We have things rearranged here, so this is our first time to actually have an in-studio interview. Now I get the good pleasure of introducing Matt Reynolds. I want to say Reynolds, R-E-Y.
No, it's
R-E-Y. I know it's wrong. Matt is the CEO of Barbell Logic, host of Build Your Business podcast, author of Amazon B&B bestseller, Barnes & Noble, B&B's out there, Barnes & Noble, Undoing Urgency, Reclaim Your Time for the Things That Matter the Most. And this book just came out, I think, about 6 months ago.
Yep.
And everything. So, Matt, thank you so much for coming on Waterbreak.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, so,
Moscow. I love this town.
In Idaho.
And by the way, I hung out with a guy who looks a lot like you, but is slightly better looking.
My brother.
Yes.
Yeah. Aaron dropped him off.
Do you think they look a lot alike?
Of course they look a lot alike.
You
Except
do?
that he's slightly better. I'm sorry.
Golly.
I know you're his wife, but like he's slightly. By the way, my brother, so I'm from Springfield, Missouri. Brad Pitt is from Springfield, Missouri. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So it's from my town.
Oh, I didn't know
And my brother looks tremendously like Brad Pitt.
that. Really?
And I hated it. He's younger. He's 3 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it.
He had hair. You didn't?
No, I had hair when I was 17, but that's not. At 22, it started, receding,
fading.
But yeah, I mean, like Brad Pitt in A River Runs Through It is what my brother looked like.
Yeah.
No
Beautiful,
way.
beautiful man.
Beautiful man.
If you're watching this,
He's just beautiful.
Beautiful.
not
beautiful.
hashtag not a fan.
Yeah.
So.
That's funny.
Yeah, so he's my CTO now. He works for me, but he's more successful than I am in business.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, he always got the. Are you Brad Pitt's little brother? Are you in Brad Pitt's family?
Are you related to Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're like, no,
All
he's
the
Matt
time.
Reynolds' little brother.
in
Like
the
he's
town.
my brother.
He's my little brother.
Dang it!
Funny.
And they were like,
funny.
"You're not as good looking as he is." I was like, "Yeah, I know. Sorry."
I just like hearing some people. I don't think Aaron and Gabe look that alike, but a lot of people mistake them for each other.
Oh, the eyes and nose.
Like
is
it's
where at.
uncanny to people.
Oh,
and
it's, their eyes
and
are
they freak
so
out
similar.
about it, and it's just it's funny.
So, I read, obviously, you know how it goes. You don't read the whole book.
You read all of it.
When you're in media world.
I'm aware that you read all
read
of
so
the
many
book.
books. So I read a lot of the
Twice.
book. But just from the beginning, it seemed like the book kind of started off, really this book came together from a place of, a testimony.
Sure.
From a place of kind of growing in the fitness business with a physical gym.
Sure.
And in a place of innovating into to the online gym world.
Yep.
And everything. And so kind of would love to start with like, it's kind of a dumb way to, why did you write the book? But it seemed like it came from a number of different places, though. And I think it's actually an important question.
Yeah. So I think the book and all the things in the book, they were, for me, it was taking up mental bandwidth. And when you constantly have to hold things in your brain, think about like, okay, what am I doing? What do I believe? What do I need to put out there?
Mm-hmm.
I've owned business for almost 25 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, can I get this out of my brain and put it in writing? At the same time, it's kind of scary because the introduction's pretty tough and there's a hard background there and fell on my face and sin and all that stuff, I don't know, 15 years ago plus.
Yeah.
And so did that and then opened the gym. So I was a public school teacher in my first career. Very grateful that I'm not a public school teacher anymore.
Did you walk? Were you walking the Lord through? I mean, did you grow up a Christian kind of thing?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, so I'm a Southern Baptist preacher's kid.
Okay.
Pado Baptist, Presbyterian at this point.
Yeah.
And so my dad was a Southern Baptist preacher. He passed away about 3 years ago from Lewy body dementia. He's a Presbyterian now. I say.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Right.
so he's Calvinist and Presbyterian, which he wasn't when he was alive, but yep. So he is now. I try to explain this to people like in the midst of the fall. I think this is one of the prototypical things of a Christian is like I was under such deep, horrific conviction in the midst of, I was unfaithful to my wife. There were things that, and again, this is like, almost 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was awful. But I was in torment like every single day. I mean, there were times that I was just like, what am I doing? Should I drive my truck in a train overpass and get my wife and kids the insurance sort of thing? And and thank God for His grace and mercy that He restored my marriage, and it was been an incredible kind of rebuilding of the marriage and the relationship, and so that was great. It has been great.
Owned during this time, kind of during this difficulty and fall in your marriage.
Yep.
It sounded like you own one of the biggest gyms in the nation.
So I opened a gym in 2008 called Strong Gym, and that grew to be the largest strength gym in the country. And again, at the time, I was a public school teacher. I was a football coach. I was the head strength coach of a 4A high school, which is the biggest size of high school in Missouri. I know it differs in states, and so, but I was just floundering. It was really, really painful. So, God has fully redeemed, the gospel has fully redeemed our marriage, which is fantastic.
Praise God.
But in the midst of it, it was awful.
Yeah.
I destroyed my wife in it.
Yeah.
And destroyed my career, and like basically flushed everything down the toilet.
Yeah.
And what I had was so I'd opened up this gym, which grew to be one of the largest strength gyms in the country.
Yeah.
And it went incredibly well. And again, thanks be to God that he had mercy and grace on me to be able to have that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So as I left teaching, after 10 years of teaching, and my wife left teaching and became a stay-at-home mom, we started homeschool our kids, classical Christian education, all that sort of stuff. I was able to provide for the family from the gym. And I live in Springfield, Missouri in the Ozarks, and that's certainly not a super popular place. Most people don't know anything about it outside of the Netflix show, which is not really not really the Ozarks, but it's actually filmed in Georgia. But we can look at it and be like, that's not here.
That's not
But it was there was a thing that occurred where it was like it fell on your face. Is there redemption and grace, and and the answer is yes. And so I think I was definitely a Christian. I was in horrific conviction at the time, and yet there's a thing that helped me. I don't know that I really understood the true gospel until the thing happened.
It's amazing. Annie's been in the fitness world for 20 plus years. I was a college athlete, baller in California, and then I would just tie this little silly connection to it. But I was also, when I came here, I was in the restaurant world.
Yep.
And the restaurant world is very much to me like the gym world, full of drama.
Oh yeah.
Full of
full of everyone sleeping around, that kind of thing.
Full of bad people.
But what you don't hear is kind of the repentance and redemption in the fitness world, because there's not tons of it.
Sure.
Because it's not really driven by the fitness world is just not really driven by Christ.
Sure.
It's really encouraging to kind of hear repentance and redemption in your life in the fitness world. So you sold your gym in 2012.
15.
Was 15. It? Okay.
Yeah. So I left teaching in 12.
Okay.
I ran it full time for 3 more years, and then sold it in 15.
And then you decided to go online.
Correct.
From the physical gym to what's now Barbell Logic, but online in 2015-16.
Yep.
That was a high risk back then.
Oh yeah.
There wasn't.
For sure.
Was there anybody doing online training?
Nobody. I was the first, which has helped, because I think we've built a moat. In business, you hear about that term, like you think about a moat
first in kind of
around a castle. That's right. So we had a lead going into this thing, and I was telling the story today with the guys from Canon. We were going to lunch, and I was like, I was driving to Nashville, doing tactical. I was going to do tactical training, and so I'm driving. It's maybe a 6-hour trip from Springfield, and it just hits me that I figured out how to scale this thing. So I was doing it all by myself in early 16 for the first several months, and I was like, how do I had 100 plus clients online, and the thing that separated us was I was breaking down the videos of every single client, so if they did squat, deadlift, press, bench press, whatever, they videoed themselves. I broke it down. Now, in those days, it was on email, YouTube. They would private YouTube videos, share it with me.
Annie's done that.
Everything now is on the app, and we have our own software. But at the time I didn't. And I was like, I've got 110 clients. I don't know how to get more because I'm not just programming for people. I'm breaking down their videos every single day. So how do I do that? So it kind of hit me. I think I can scale this. I think I can write systems and standard operating procedures. I think I can hire. So I ended up hiring like 40 coaches and didn't have anybody to give them. And we launched officially, we expanded the business December 1st of 16.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't give you any clients yet, but like on the day we launch, maybe.
Yeah.
And we did like $48,000 day one.
Wow.
And I can remember being at the table and just like sobbing, like my wife. I've got Stripe pulled up on my phone. It starts ding, 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 ding.
Wow.
Ding. And I'm just like, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
It's gonna work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I'd sold the gym. It was all I had. It was like, and I kind of ruined my life with teaching and all that stuff. And so I was like, this is it. Here, like Hail Mary. Here we go.
Yeah.
And but it worked, and the Lord blessed. And so that has turned into a business now that's a mid 8-figure business.
Yeah.
And we've got 400 coaches that work for us now, and it's been amazing. We've just been incredibly blessed and super grateful, and so it's been fantastic.
So I remember talking to you. I can't remember when we first started. I first started talking to you about going online. Do you remember that? I feel like it was like before we had kids, but maybe I was wrong.
It was a long time ago, and I was so against it for so long because I was. And I wonder if I don't know what your thought process was, but I was just like, I can't be there watching them, teaching them. They're just gonna mess it up, and they're gonna get hurt. And it's like that's the whole point of personal training. So I was very invested in the one-on-one model. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so it took me a really long time to just realize, hey, with technology, there's ways you actually can help people. You can help so many more people, and people where you're not in the same place. So it took me a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the way that I was able to scale, is that no one else was. So the online coaching was starting to become a thing, and here we are in 2025. It's still the thing, and it's got a 36% compounded annual growth rate, so it's massive. It's worth $11-12 billion a year in revenue, and no one is doing technique breakdown, actual coaching. So everyone programs. So cookie cutter program. And I was like, well, that's not coaching. That's just programming. And programming's fine if you're a poor 19-year-old college kid, and you want to pay $50 a month. But like, I want to coach. I want to talk to my clients. And so I have actually a handful of clients even here in Moscow. And again, I live in Springfield, and people you guys would know. And they video all their lifts. They video their squats and their deadlifts and their bench press and their press and all the main stuff. And then we have an integrated screen recorder, and I record myself talking to them while they see themselves squat, deadlift, whatever. And so that was really the scaling part where I was like, this is the great separator between me or my company and everybody else, because everybody else is just writing cookie cutter templates. But I want to coach, and I don't just want to like type coaching. I want to speak to my client. I want to talk to them. I want them to hear my voice. I want them to see their their lifts, their squat, their things like that. So we did that, developed that. Again, started very crude, and it was via YouTube and emails and stuff. And then we were using the biggest third-party software in the world. We pushed it really hard. Couldn't push it any harder. And we decided we've got to spend money to develop our own software. And so we spent, I don't know, a couple $1 million maybe at this point to do that. And then when COVID hit, which you're very familiar with because you went to jail.
COVID. Do you remember?
Do you remember? For singing psalms, like you do, go to jail for singing psalms.
Yeah, in Moscow.
Whatever. So I was like, we got to figure this out. We got to develop this. And so we developed our own software and pushed it out because I thought, I was like, look, we need this as a company. And at this point, we're probably 80 coaches, 90 coaches. And again, now we're 400. But at the time, we were pushing 100 coaches and thousands of clients. And I was like, but not only do we need it, there are hundreds or thousands of other coaches that need this that don't have it, because COVID had shut every gym in the world down. Not just the churches, like everything, right? And which I would certainly argue gyms should shut down before the churches, but neither should have shut down. Nothing
at all, right?
Nothing.
Right.
And so I'm like, look, there's these great coaches out there who have great clients, and they don't have an opportunity. I mean, I remember even our clients online, they would buy like 5-gallon buckets from Lowe's.
Mm-hmm.
They would put a 4x4 in it, a 4x4
with concrete or whatever. Yeah.
and put just big lag bolts in it,
Mm-hmm.
and set it for like bench press and squat at the heights, and they'd be in their 500 square foot apartment in Montreal,
Mm-hmm.
or New York City, whatever, and they'd be squatting out of the thing. I'm like, that is janky AF. Like, that's not good.
Yeah.
But they would do it, and we did it and broke down their stuff and everything. So, I think it was a great separator for us to be able to go like, so come back to what you said. It wasn't just about the programming or the software. It was that how do we provide the best programming and coaching in the world while also providing this incredible technique breakdown, which nobody else was doing. That was the moat.
Yeah.
And that's been the moat for several years, and there's still almost nobody doing this thing.
Interesting.
So now the business goes from whatever, 6 figures to 8 figures.
Yeah.
And it's been insane. And so but it's all about the combination of, can you provide service and provide software or whatever, the product plus service.
Yeah.
I think most companies are product or service.
Yeah.
We wanted to be both.
Yeah.
We had to be both.
Yeah.
Well, and can I ask a question or two? Yeah. Just since we're on this topic, just for our audience, like, so how does the process work? You sign up with a coach, and you said you have like 400, is that what you said, coaches at this point? Are these all different types of coaches?
Yep.
I can tell by looking at you, you're like a strongman, powerlifting kind of background, right? Like, are all your coaches that way?
No,
or so
not even close.
Talk about that a little bit.
And I don't coach primarily at this point. I coach normal business executives in general, and
soccer moms.
Yeah, I don't coach soccer moms, but yeah, I mean, I coach coach a few soccer moms, but they're usually the wives of a husband that I don't coach females otherwise.
Okay,
but
sure.
yes, and so so when you sign up, you fill out a questionnaire and you answer questions about yourself, and we've got an algorithm that then pairs you with your top 8 coaches.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then you can be like, I'm going to search, like, who's it? So if you sign up and you're like, I want a female, and you can say that on the questionnaire, then you'll only get the female coaches, which is, I mean, mostly how we do it. Like, mostly females coach females and males coach males.
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
It's safer, right?
Weird.
So,
weird.
Kind of weird and also safe and right?
Yeah, right.
So you're like, I want a female. I'm after strength training or bodybuilding, or I want to lose weight, marathon, CrossFit, whatever the thing is. And so it'll pair you with the best coach for you, but it give you the top 8. So then you can choose, you can look through and look at their bios. And I mean, we've got ladies who are like, specialize in postpartum moms. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to train postpartum moms.
That's super important.
I've never been postpartum. I don't know what that feels like. Right? That those hormones are those hormones are weird.
Yeah.
I've got a guy who's a surgeon in Detroit who only coaches people 60 and over.
Interesting.
So I mean, we've got a lady that's 89, and she squats and she deadlifts and she does the thing, and so it's in perfect form.
Yeah.
And again, and she does it in her basement.
She's 89 years old.
89.
That's so
oh, that's
cool.
awesome.
I know.
And she started training a few years ago, and she's just like, I think she's a widow, and like her husband passed, and so her daughter was a client, and she's like, I really like to get my mom doing this, but I need somebody that can deal with somebody who's
older,
90, nearly 90.
Right.
Yeah. Like, oh, we got a guy
for that.
He literally wrote a book about the thing.
Yeah.
And so we've done that. So so we basically we pair you with the best coach that I think in the world for you. Mm-hmm. You can pick of the top 8, but if you don't, our customer service team will go in and look at really review your questionnaire. One of the most important things we ever do is like review the questionnaire and pair you with your best coach, because we want to pair you with a coach that you would love to go out and get a coffee with or a beer with or whatever.
Yeah.
That would, if they weren't your coach, would be your friend.
Yeah.
Like that kind of person, and do that. And so clients don't leave. So we've got very low churn. There's no turnover, all that kind of stuff. So, but the important thing is that it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're the client or the coach, you can train from anywhere, anytime, on your own schedule, at a public gym, at your own gym, in your basement, in your bedroom, whatever the thing is. And the coach is the same thing. And so, I'm here in Moscow. I got up this morning super early at my Airbnb. I broke down videos of my clients. I don't have to be in Springfield. They're not in Springfield. They're all
Right.
over the world. I'm in a place now where I coach mostly like reformed dudes.
Yeah.
It's been
We
a
need
weird,
it. Out of all
it's
the
been
Christian
weird.
world,
Oh,
Reformed
man.
dudes need
Yeah.
it.
Fat Presbyterians, we talk about it a lot.
Yes, and I have coached many of those and talked on their podcasts and whatnot.
Good.
But it's I mean, I think I have an advantage because I get to handpick kind of who I want. But
That's great though. Pick
they're
who
great.
you're going to be able to help the most. You know,
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
great.
So can you also choose Reformed on the
I
questionnaire?
would love that.
What denomination
I
of your
have it-
trainer do you want to have
set
train
up-
you?
Yeah, I have it set up with customer service. If they say Reformed, Calvinist, Presbyterian, whatever, send them to me.
Because those are the only people who are going to drop
That's
that
awesome.
on a
That's awesome.
questionnaire.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You can tell a lot, like politically, culturally, and look. I own to be clear, I own a secular business, right? And so I mean, we've got hundreds of coaches, and they promote themselves, and I certainly do not believe or would support all of the lifestyle choices of all my coaches. And they, I get to go on podcasts like this, Cross Politic, like whatever, get to go on solid Reform podcasts, and I get to speak for Matt Reynolds, not for Barbell Logic.
Okay.
And they let me do that. My investors, my board, all that, which is I'm very blessed to be able to do that.
Right.
But the reality is like when somebody fills out a questionnaire, you'd be surprised, even though we don't ask any political, cultural, anything questions, you can pick up on it pretty quick. It doesn't take long before you're like, okay, this person needs to go to the lady in San Francisco. This person is going to the guy in Little Rock or whatever.
It's almost like eHarmony a little bit, but for
You're just like it just is what it is.
It's true.
And
Well,
so,
it's funny. I was head trainer for years at the little gym that I work at, and hiring was my least favorite part.
Yep.
I absolutely hated it.
There's one thing worse: firing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Honestly,
that's my favorite.
Honestly, I didn't mind the firing.
Hiring was worse
It's
than
not
the
working.
firing.
Get out of here. But hiring was so hard because what I found was it was really hard to find the personality and the knowledge combined. It was so hard. You could find one or the other. And as time went on, I started leaning harder into personality and being like, I'll teach him myself.
Yes.
I don't care.
That's a great,
like
great
that's
point.
what it came down to. So I guess I'm just, to your point, like you really need person to match with your trainer.
So here's
or
the
it
thing.
doesn't work.
No, it's absolutely true. So when I remember, and this is not to make an excuse about where we are, because again, there are people who are coaches of mine who definitely don't have the same worldview as me or us.
Yeah.
We share the same worldview. But in 2016, the world was very different.
Oh yeah.
So
It was.
I was hiring.
Which is the year you launched, really.
That's the year I launched.
No pronouns, it was,
Correct. Pronouns did not exist.
It wasn't a thing yet. Yeah.
None of those things. And so I was hiring based on quality of coaching and personality, and they had to have both. And so there are some great coaches in the world that do not know how to interact with other humans on a emotional.
She's got stories.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Rough.
I mean, and there were several that I knew that emailed me and were like, "Why won't you hire me?" And I was like, "Because you're autistic and weird."
Right.
I don't know. Sorry.
You're unlikable. Yeah, right. No one's gonna like you.
Yeah, you don't have the social skills to do
Why
this
won't
thing.
you hire
You're
me?
a great coach, but here's the thing.
Yeah,
but
right.
what happened by the time we got to 2020 and 2021 is that it wasn't just personality and coaching, it was culture. And so now you've got three aspects. But the problem is that I had, and again, if you're watching this, you're from my business, you're fine. It's fine. But the reality is that I probably would have hired for coaching skill, personality, and cultural fit, like, core values for the business.
Sure, yeah.
But in 2016, that was not as apparent. So our cultural values have always been like very apparent. Everybody knows where I stand.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I'm like Reformed Calvinist stuff. And the business doesn't have to be that. And, so it's fine. And they can promote themselves. But that became way more pronounced post-COVID. And so what I don't want to do, what I can't do is go in now to somebody who is culturally not like me and let them go because they're not like me. So it's so there's a little bit of a, I don't know, kind of a rub there that is like, okay, it's a great coach, great personality.
Yeah.
Right.
Opposite of reformed. Whatever,
How do we red balloon this?
Yeah. No, I can't. You're right.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I can't.
Yeah.
Man, I love Red Balloon.
Yeah.
And we talked to them a lot. And so, but the problem is that if you start this 10, 11 years ago,
you got a culture baked into the cake, and you got
correct.
It's harder.
It's
I'm
struggle.
following you.
So
right.
Actually, I'd like to ask you this question, because for a long time you were so resistant to going online, and
because I'm a control freak and not good at technology. I mean, that
Yeah,
really is a
sure.
good summary of why, because it's been fine.
That's a fair summary.
He tries to get me to do something for 10 years, and I'm like, no, and then I do it, and I'm like, it's going really well.
you're a rebellious woman.
Yeah,
But
I'm a very bad wife. Yeah. Exactly.
But
I can't.
because I want you to kind of outline some of this too. But why did you decide to end up? Because you still do the gym stuff, but also you're online too. Why did you decide to go online?
For me, it really.
And what are some of the benefits of it?
For me, it was really, I was just pushed over the edge with wanting to help more people. And it got to the point, I've been doing the one-on-one model, which I still love. There is nothing like being in a gym one-on-one with one person. It's really special and super effective. But
She charges $1,000 an hour.
Right.
I also have 3 kids. I'm busy, and I want to spend as much time with them. And I just thought, I can get to way more people in an hour.
Yeah, you're in Moscow, Idaho.
Exactly, with my time.
I'm in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, and we started a podcast. I actually had to start branching into more like health and lifestyle consulting because so many women in particular, to your point, I work with mostly women. They're so unhealthy. They shouldn't even be in the gym. Like they weren't sleeping, their hormones were whack. They had been given terrible advice. So I had to pivot that way really hard, not because that's what I like to teach people to clean and jerk. That's fun for me. But it's like you don't.
Speaking of the closest I've ever gotten to divorce, in spite of the stories in the beginning of the book, was trying to teach my wife how to power clean.
Oh man!
I thought she was going to divorce me. I had to hire another coach to teach my wife how to clean. I'm like the best. One of the best
saying in
coaches
the biz,
world.
Never train your spouse.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Ribito and all those guys said that. And it was like,
especially not a power clean.
By the way, my wife is she's 48. I was going to say pushing 50. I won't say that.
Don't say that.
I won't say that, baby. 48, and less than 10 years ago, not that long ago, she squatted 347 in a meet. This is in a powerlifting meet. So the weights are weird because of kilos.
Right.
She deadlifted 402.
Jeez, strong.
And she's the most, and she's bench pressed 235. Wow. And she's the most like feminine, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pretty girl you'd ever meet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You would never again, sorry, babe. You wouldn't even know. She's. At the time, she was fit, but she wasn't like. Well, you wouldn't look at her and be like, she's masculine or like muscular or whatever. She was just. She was like a soccer mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't know that she was strong, and she kept training with me. And I was like, I can remember going to. My family has a place in Telluride. My aunt and uncle, my rich aunt and uncle, which is not us, had a place in Telluride. It's at 10,500 feet in elevation.
Yeah.
And she was lifting, and I was like, she would ask, like, is this good? I was like, yeah, you're doing fine. Let's add 5 more pounds. And she just kept adding 5 more pounds. And she didn't know that she was strong. And then she went to a powerlifting meet, and she won the Masters, and then she won the whole overall.
Oh,
and she was like, am I good at this? And I was like, you're good at it.
You're good.
Okay, finally, I'll tell you finally.
You're
strong. Like a 350 squat and a 400-pound deadlift is ridiculous.
It's fantastic.
For a
very
soccer
strong.
mom that's 45 years old. That's nuts.
It's incredible.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's you can make a huge difference in your clients' lives. Mm-hmm. That's the point. And so I think with the online side, when you're in a town like Moscow or like Springfield, Missouri, and you're not in New York, you're not in Philly, you're not in Boston, you're not in LA or San Francisco, then who do we coach?
Right.
Like you can only coach people that are within 10, 15 minutes of your gym, of your house, of whatever.
Yeah.
And so by going online, if the focus is on service, technique breakdown, not just programming. We're not going to do cookie cutter, Excel spreadsheet programs.
Here you go.
We're going to actually do technique. We're going to talk. We're going to video ourselves talking, all that sort of stuff. It's like of the 8 billion people in the world, if they can afford your coaching, then you can coach them. And if you're specialized, again, you said like I'm an ex pro strongman, power lifter. I don't really coach guys. Like at this point, I'm an executive, so I mostly coach executives. but I'm sure that I would coach different people than you would coach, right?
Right.
You're going to coach soccer moms or whatever you want to call them. Maybe that's not fair, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
So middle-aged females, I'm going to coach middle-aged dudes. And if you build a product and a service that is specific to you, then Moscow, this tiny little Moscow Pullman 10 miles, 15 miles circle is not your circle anymore. Like it's the whole world.
It just blows it up.
And so you can do all of it. And same thing in the Ozarks for me. And so when I travel to Moscow, or when I was in Greece a few weeks ago with the NSA crew, I could it doesn't matter what the time zone is. I can coach from anywhere in the world. So,
it's incredible. How's it benefit? I see how it's beneficial for you as a business owner. How's it beneficial for them more than one-on-one attention in the gym?
Well, this is I don't know how to answer that without being self-aggrandizing. So, personal training is crap. And 99% of the personal trainers out there are morons and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's
because they also think if I'm certified, I can do it.
Correct. And the certification process is
it's like nothing.
It's ridiculous.
It's like you could
yes.
It's just nothing.
Yes.
I mean, so and it's just any kid who likes to lift.
Yeah, it's a multiple choice test. So so the question is
it's not good.
So imagine going to a brain surgeon and the brain surgeon took a multiple choice test. I'm like, cool, you have brain cancer. I'm going to perform surgery on you. And you're like, what's your skill level? Like, I took a multiple choice test.
Yeah. That's the certification.
That is crazy. Yeah. That's the certification.
Well, and half of them can't even pass that test, which is also kind of upsetting. But yeah, it's a very low bar. It's a very low bar.
I remember you talking about this over the years.
Yeah.
Well, the most widely recognized test in the world, certification in the world, is called the CSCS, the Certified Strength and Conditioning Coach. You have to have that to be a Division I coach or a pro coach in Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL. So I passed that. I took it, I don't know, 10 years ago. I've let it lapse at this point. I don't care.
Right.
I got a 97 on it. I literally got the book. I flipped through the chapters. I went right to the end of the chapter. It's like 10 multiple choice questions. If I got 8 or higher, I would skip the chapter.
Yeah.
There's a chapter on like EKGs, which, how many times have you done an EKG? I've never done. Right. I've done this for 30 years. I've never done an EKG. Like, here's the peak on the EKG. Here's the low point. Here's the like. Personal trainers don't do EKGs.
No.
I've never tested VO2 max. Like, I've never put somebody on like a full mask and like run as hard as you can on a treadmill and I understand the value of that, but it's like not.
I've done it.
But you have?
Yeah.
Look at you.
She does it once. She does it once a week herself.
You do a VO2 max?
Not with a mask, but I do train to it.
Not
to
the
be
mask.
Yeah. But I come from a running.
No,
background.
she doesn't do the mask.
Powerlifters probably not so much.
No, not so
Let's
much.
clarify.
Not so much on the VO2.
Yeah. So I mean, I was just like.
I know it's not that hard.
So I take the CSCS. It's all multiple choice questions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they never asked me how to coach. They never asked me how to coach a squat or a deadlift or any main lifts or how you
technique,
how you would program cardiovascular fitness, none of this stuff.
Yeah.
It was just a multiple choice test on, EKGs and ridiculous stuff.
It's
so it's
basically just a test. Like, can you read material, memorize it, and pass the test just like you would in school?
Which I think there's value for. I mean, I'm not saying there's no value.
Right. But you're right about the quality of when I had to hire trainers. What I started doing over time, to your point, was actually making it like a 3-part interview where if they passed the first, the second one, they had to teach me.
Yep.
All the teach me how to hinge, teach me how to squat, teach me how to press. And then I would actually pretend I was someone else and go through all the common dysfunctions.
Yep.
Why is my butt tucking under? Why do I squat like a downhill skier? And I would make them tell me, why is this happening?
Yeah.
And how can you fix it? And man,
that's where things
it exposes
that exposes a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So thank you for bringing that up. We have an academy. So our main money makers we have our main online coaching, like what business to consumer, B2C.
Yep.
That does very well. Then we have the B2B business, the business to business side, which is licensing of the software now because, again, post-COVID where all the gyms got shut down, we're like, we got to...
You work with your software will work with other companies.
Hundreds of companies. And then we also coach the military, and specifically like we do all the Air Force Special Forces, EOD, the bomb guys, all that kind of stuff. So
cool.
And so those are our 3 main money makers. We have a fourth one that's not a huge money maker, but it's our academy. So we have an academy, and we've got a great guy that is sort of the principal or the president of the academy, and does that, and teaches coaches up and coming coaches how to be professional coaches, right?
Yeah.
So coming back to what you just said, so to pass our certification, which you have to
Your
pass,
academy.
our academy.
It's not CS or whatever.
Nope. It's
the only way to go.
Yeah.
It's the only way
it's called
to do
Professional Barbell Coach, the PBC, and it's accredited and getting a lot of traction, but it's not as big as like the CSCS or whatever.
Yeah.
But
right.
You have to take a written test, which is not multiple choice. It's not super long essay, but it's like, I don't know, short answer, paragraph, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to pass that. Then you have to do a practical. So you have to either coach in person in front of one of our certified coaches, or you have to turn on your camera or video camera and never hit pause.
Yep.
And teach somebody, here's how to squat, walk them through all the, the basic steps, show them how to squat, whatever. And they do it and then fix their form errors without ever hitting pause or cutting the camera. If you pass those two, you have to do an oral exam, which is with my COO and my CXO. So my head of customer service and my COO, head engineer. And they're making sure that you didn't cheat on the test and cultural fit and all the things. And so you've got to pass all three.
That's
it's
fantastic.
very
for
low,
the certification.
Very rigorous.
just to get the certification and just to work for us. So
I love
But
that.
what I'm saying is that regardless of work for you guys, you got to pass all those 3 steps to get the certification
you
alone.
cannot be certified otherwise.
Yes, okay.
I would
That's
say,
great.
and then I would say maybe 80% of the certified coaches work for us. So it's probably 20% that don't. And so
you can just go through that certification. What's it called again?
it's called the Professional Barbell Coach, PBC.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's relatively new. I mean, it's a few years old.
I'm going to look that up because up and coming trainers ask me all the time. They're like ACE or NASM. And I'm like, they're both awful. They're both so bad. Like, don't waste your time.
Our academy, again, this is not to be a commercial for the academy, but it costs $1,000 or less total to take everything. So it's not like going to get a college exercise science degree and paying $25,000 or $50,000 or something like that. So
now is there ongoing
that's
the
really good to know
ongoing certification, the ongoing education, continuing education?
Continuing
do you
education.
have to do that?
You don't have to do it, but you get it forever. So once you sign
you get
up,
your certificate forever.
you get yes. And so right now, that's a great question. Right now, the certification, you don't have to do continuing education to keep the cert,
to maintain it.
but that's probably coming. But once you've purchased the curriculum for the academy, then you have the curriculum forever. And so as we come out with new courses, you always have access. You don't have to pay more money. So for example, we just came out with one, I don't know, 6 months ago on cardiovascular fitness, like conditioning. We came out with one on the business of online coaching, like how to basically, we're trying to teach. I was talking to a guy this week or yesterday here in Moscow who owns a gym here in Moscow, a successful powerlifting gym. And I was like, but you're only in Moscow, like if you add the online piece and you do hybrid. So I'm not trying to get him to leave his gym. Like this gym is great. This gym's incredible. But also if you add the hybrid side, the online side, meaning that if your clients train in the gym and you coach them 2 times a week and you online coach them another 2 times a week or time a week or whatever, but also you can expand your clientele to this like vast majority of people. So so that guy has been fantastic at trying to move that direction, as well as lots of our coaches have gone from like in-person training, hybrid training, and then adding that online component. And so anyway, they've got all these as we add courses. Courses again, the surgeon adding courses for training seniors, I think, things like that. Like, how do you train people that are 60, 70?
Yeah, what considerations would you need to have that you would never think of?
Postpartum moms.
Bone density for women.
Exactly.
I mean,
all that stuff.
A lot,
Then you've got all those options. And once they've done it, they can do it forever. So they don't have to ever pay more money for
That's
it.
super valuable.
I'm going to ask you the hardest question because we're wrapping up here.
The
The hardest question.
What is it? I'm scared.
Basically, give me your 3-minute thesis of undoing urgency. So we kind of finished with the book here. I really enjoyed this whole conversation.
I know. We had
for
so
sure.
much to
But
tell.
I want to make sure we kind of hit kind of the thesis and why people should maybe check out this book.
Thank you. So the book, Undoing Urgency, I wrote that. Forbes published it. Very, very grateful that Forbes published it and honored It's been the best-selling book that Forbes has had for 5+ years.
That's great.
Which is pretty cool. One book of the year this year in 2025.
I got a board book coming out. Would they pick that up?
Say it again.
I said I got a board book coming out.
Would
Would they pick that up? No.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
So it's interesting because over the years, like again, I've been a strength coach for 25 years.
Yeah.
Over time, I've transitioned more into more of a CEO and business guy, and I still love to coach. I'm still a strength coach, and again, coach people that everybody that listens to your podcast would know that are in this community, and have a blast doing that. But the challenge for me is more on the business side, and so the question is like, what's going on with our time? How do we spend our time? And I think that we are, if we're going to spend our time to the glory of God, which is the chief end of man.
Amen. Yeah.
Then we are often drowning. We'll find ourselves drowning in urgency. And so when I was a kid, and you were a kid, probably both you guys, somebody could ask your dad like how you doing? How's it going? Same question they asked today. And the trite answer was good, fine, whatever. Now, if you ask somebody, how's it going? The answer is busy. And it doesn't matter who it is.
100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour.
It's like business professional, 90-year-old person, soccer mom, stay-at-home mom, 18-year-old kid in high school. Everybody's drowning in busy. Yeah. And so the book is about how to not drown in busy. Yeah. And so the elevator pitch is, Eisenhower said, I have two types of problems or tasks, important problems and urgent problems. The urgent are never important, and the important are never urgent. Yeah. Yeah.
Reprioritize. Yeah.
Real good. Yeah. Right. And so what we're able to do is we can take that, we kind of build a matrix and say, if it's not important, we've got to get rid of it. We've got to like, and that might be like binge watching Netflix or doom scrolling social media or video games or God forbid porn. Like maybe it's amoral, but it's not always,
or all the way to sin.
Terrible. And focus on the things that matter the most. And for guys like me who are CEO, like I've got to spend a lot of time doing urgent and important things, which are CEO type things, and same thing I'm sure you have to deal with. And so, but I want to do those very efficiently, because the thing that is the most important, the things that are most important are not urgent. So spending time with my wife and my daughters, spiritual disciplines, health, fitness, those things, those are never urgent, but they're very important. Yeah. And so if I am drowning in all the urgency, then I don't get to spend it on the things that really matter. Yeah. And so no one looks back at their life and says, man, I wish I had spent more time doing the urgent stuff. Like everybody's like, I wish I had spent more time with my wife and kids, spiritual disciplines, health, all those things. And so that's really what the book is about. So the
thing that this book made me think about was, and we'll end here, is a lot of my life is built around putting out fires. Like that's the urgency thing. Yeah. And some of them you have to. Yep. And almost most of them you have to. But you also can't build long term if that's all you're doing is putting out fires. Yep. And so it really is like, especially people in our stage in life running businesses and trying to fight against constantly having to put out fires while trying to build stability and long-term visions with what you're doing. Sure. I would say the easiest thing for me is, because my family is great, is like my favorite thing to do is just go home and be done with work. Yeah, yeah. Hang out with my family. Same. I love, me and Annie talk about this. I love our dinners with my kids. Like we try to fight for that and guard it. It's really hard with my daughters in basketball, sports, stuff like that. Yep. But like, once you, and again, especially as you're building things, there's fires that are going to happen and everything. But really trying to, I think, undoing the urgency is very important if you want to build long term with your family. Of course. All that stuff. So,
urgency. When you're stuck in urgency never builds or produces joy. Yeah. That's the key. Yeah. Whereas the thing that is not urgent, or the things that are not urgent,
having dinner with your family,
that is joy.
That's joy. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like reading my Bible. Yeah. Like listening to Psalms, praying, health, fitness, lifting, like whatever the thing is, right? Even like cooking a good dinner with my family. Like I love to cook, those things bring me joy. But urgency, putting out fires, robs me of joy.
Yeah.
So when you do a thing that robs you of joy, you've got to figure out how to keep either not do that, or again, there's times as a CEO or business owner, you have to do it. But the reality is like those things rob you of joy. So how do you reduce the amount of time that you spend on those things? Purge them, delegate them, automate them. Work as efficiently as possible on them so that you can open up as much time as possible for the things that do produce joy in your life. That's what the book is about.
That's really valuable. The modern American lifestyle is 100% urgency, I would say.
Drowning in urgency.
Drowning in it, yeah.
For sure.
Matt, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you,
CEO of Barbell Logic, Undoing Urgency, which I imagine you want to push people to Amazon or Forbes?
Yeah,
or
it's fine.
what's
Amazon's
website?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, Amazon. I mean, look, I don't make as much money on Amazon, but it's easier to get it. And you can get it
and then
quick.
you get it ratings.
And there's
all those
there's
things.
audiobooks
all
and
this
Kindle
stuff.
and all this stuff. So you got all the things.
They've got you.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for joining Waterbreak again. If you
Thank
guys want to maybe participate in our next AMA, ask us anything kind of thing. Give us more questions for future podcasts, which we try to do basically one kind of ask me anything once a month, once a quarter kind of thing. Email us RenchMedia@gmail.com. Follow my wife on Instagram, me on Twitter, and it's really good to be with you, and we will see you guys next week.